not leaving. You will have to put hands on me, which will be an assault, sir.
Please.
And there'll be a misconduct. Look at this guy. You tell me you turned your body worn on.
I forgot.
You forgot. Is that good enough? When you've just assaulted...
Welcome to Knockout Tide, where police power meets public accountability.
This episode is brought to you by The Laughing Auditor. Be sure to visit the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the recognition he deserves. In this episode, The Laughing Auditor is quietly recording inside a council building when police arrive and immediately begin creating issues. There is no clear offence, no proper explanation, just a rising tone and uncertain accusations. Within minutes, the situation shifts from conversation to force, with an officer physically pulling him out of the building, as though removing him somehow resolves the absence of grounds. The only reason this doesn't become their word against his is that his camera never stops recording.
So you're upsetting the council a little bit?
I'm upsetting the council.
Yeah?
I'm not doing anything.
Well, they've called us and said, because they're concerned, you've come in here, you're wearing a mask, you're wearing shades, and what they were concerned about is that you were filming doors, security doors,
Yeah, I was.
cameras, things like that.
Yeah, I was.
Obviously, in these times, they would be worried about that.
Would they?
Because that looks to be hostile reconnaissance.
What's
doesn't
that?
it? You don't know what hostile reconnaissance
No.
is? Hostile reconnaissance is when someone who's planning a terrorist attack or some other action against people will come to the location in the first to find out where the areas of vulnerability are, where security cameras are, where locations are like that.
Okay.
That's obviously something the council are very keyed up to during
Okay.
these modern times.
Okay,
That's something
so-
they're worried about.
Hold on a second, 'cause you said a lot of things. First and foremost, do you mind identifying yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Sergeant James Hudson.
Okay.
As you can tell, I've just come out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
police station.
Second, hostile reconnaissance. Is that the textbook definition?
I don't know what the textbook
not?
definition is, but that's the definition.
Okay. So, it's not the definition, okay? And it involves covert recording. So this isn't covert, this is
Hostile
overt.
reconnaissance doesn't have to be covert.
Okay, so if you knew the textbook definition, then you wouldn't have said.
This is where it unravels instantly. The officer opens by describing his actions as hostile reconnaissance, a serious designation typically reserved for covert surveillance associated with criminal intent. The problem: the Laughing Auditor is standing there openly filming, nothing concealed, no attempt to disguise his activity. By definition, hostile reconnaissance involves covert information gathering carried out with preparatory purpose. Simply recording in plain view does not meet that threshold. Applying that label to ordinary filming diminishes its true meaning, and suggests it is being used as a tool of intimidation rather than a properly understood term.
Because it's quite clear.
It's irrelevant. We can both agree
Okay.
that would look like hostile reconnaissance. Is that right?
Okay. No, I don't agree.
You don't agree?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Well, would you mind identifying yourself to me?
Do I need to?
Well, yeah, because to me it looks like you
Yes.
are currently carrying out hostile
Yes,
reconnaissance.
I need to.
Yeah, I'm saying I would like you to because of that.
Okay.
And I think you know that you're going to
Just
provoke
said
this kind of
No,
reaction.
you just said I need to identify myself.
No, I would like you to.
Okay, well, I'm not going to identify myself.
Well, would you mind leaving the council?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't mind leaving? Okay, thank you.
If you identified yourself properly, sir.
Yeah,
Please don't
Sergeant-
step so close.
Sergeant
please.
James Hodson,
Okay. Another
2673, Bournemouth Police
another
Station.
question. What's that in your uniform?
Which bit?
The thing that looks similar to a flag?
That?
Yeah, is that police issue?
There's a thin blue line.
Is it police issue?
No, that was
It's
personal.
not part of your uniform. You know, some people find that offensive. I spoke to your colleague at the back gate.
Do you find it offensive?
I do find it offensive. Can you take it off, please?
No, I'm not going to take it off. You'll forgive me for smiling there, because you're talking about the decent thing, yet you're coming in here, masking your
Okay.
face, making members of the other public concerned,
Is it- have you had a
making us
complaint?
receive. Yeah, we've received 999 calls.
From who?
About you. From
who?
council members
From the
and staff.
council, so not members of the public.
This is where the overreach becomes unmistakable. Requesting that he identify himself simply because something appears to resemble hostile reconnaissance does not automatically grant officers the authority to demand personal details. Suspicion must rest on something concrete, not on the use of a dramatic phrase. Applying that label without identifying any preparatory act or clear intent fails to meet the required legal threshold. Furthermore, the fact that the so-called complaints originated from council staff rather than members of the public makes the justification even weaker. Staff discomfort is not a criminal offence. Internal unease cannot be transformed into a policing matter and then used as leverage to compel someone to identify themselves.
Are they not members of the public?
I've not. The public officials.
Well, as far as I'm aware, people in here as well have come to them and
Yeah,
said, I'm
public-
concerned about that man.
Okay.
So, members of the public within here, because of your actions, because
What
the way
members of the
you're...
public?
I don't know which members of the public, because I
Because I've been
didn't-
sat here.
I didn't receive the call myself.
25 minutes. So I've been sat here for about 32 minutes, and there's maybe been about 4 or 5 members of the public that have come past and stay within this area. Not one person's batted an eyelid about the fact I'm sat with a camera. I've not been filming members of the public.
As far as you know.
No, I know, because I'm good at what I do. So
You've spoken to every single person.
No, what I'm saying is I'm not filming.
What I'm doing.
I'm not filming members of the public. When members of the public are passing my camera, I'm dropping
Well,
it.
I can only tell you what I've been told, and that is that we've received a call saying that you are causing concern
From council officials.
Look,
Public
if you let
officials.
me finish talking, I'll explain it to you. But if you're going to try and put words in my mouth, then there's not much point having a conversation, is there?
So I'm not putting words in your mouth. You told me
You're trying to finish my sentence. I was trying to explain something to you.
No. You had
You cut in and
members
tried to
of
finish
the.
my
You
sentence.
says that you had 99 calls from members of staff,
Basically, what it boils down
council
to
officials.
is
The sergeant then attempts to reinforce the claim by abruptly stating that members of the public have also complained, yet that assertion does not align with what is plainly visible on camera. People are passing by without concern, no one engaging, no one objecting, and certainly no one displaying distress. If genuine complaints existed, you would expect some observable reaction or at least something specific to reference, not a vague claim introduced to strengthen an already fragile position. Moreover, he has not filmed any of them, which removes the alleged harm altogether. Public alarm cannot be manufactured where none exists.
Would you like this man to leave?
Right, okay.
Please exit
One
the
last
building.
thing.
You're now trespassing.
Trespassing is a civil matter. You have no
Which can be
authority.
enforced by the police.
Can it?
Of course it
No,
can.
it can't.
Please leave.
No.
You're not going to leave.
No, are you going to make me leave?
I will have to remove you if
Okay,
you refuse
so
to leave.
let's, before we go any further.
No,
okay?
there is no conversation.
Before we go any further,
You are trespassing.
if you
Please
put
leave.
hands on me, it will be an assault.
No, it won't.
It will be an assault.
asked you to leave.
You'll be
A
infringing my
person
rights.
here has
It's
asked you to leave.
Let me finish my sentence,
So please leave.
It's a public
No, the
building. It's
conversation is
publicly
done.
accessible. The
Yeah, and your
Please
implied
stop
right to
closing the
access
gap.
has been removed.
Why are you getting aggressive?
Because I need you to leave.
Okay,
and you
I'm
are
not
not
leaving.
listening.
It's a public building.
Yes.
It's funded by the
Your
taxpayer.
implied right to access has been
You
removed.
can't remove that.
They can.
It's not your building.
It is a private building.
Okay, it's not a private building. Who pays for it?
The council.
The council pays for it. Who pays for the council, sir?
Everybody.
Okay,
well, you've not identified yourself to me.
It's a
as
reception. It's a reception. I've not tried to go past.
Please
Stop
leave.
closing the distance.
because I
please.
need
No,
you to leave and
I'm
you're
not leaving.
refusing.
You will have to put hands on me, which will be an assault, sir.
Please.
And there'll be a misconduct. Look at this guy.
Thank you very much.
No,
Come on,
let
buddy.
go off me.
This is where the logic completely collapses. The sergeant asks the staff member whether he wants him removed, receives a yes, and suddenly treats that response as though it grants police powers. It does not. Trespass is a civil matter unless it is aggravated or connected to a specific offence, and none of that is present here. The laughing auditor is correct. A publicly funded council building that is open and accessible to the public does not become private property simply because it is convenient to claim it is. The sergeant even undermines his own argument by acknowledging that the council pays for it, which means it is funded by the public. That contradiction speaks volumes. And rather than resolving the uncertainty through lawful authority, he resorts to force, physically seizing and removing him when he cannot properly justify the power to do so.
When did you turn your body worn on?
I had it on all the
Why
time.
didn't you tell me?
Because
It's against your Look at this.
Okay,
Get
buddy.
your hands off me now.
Would you mind exiting
No,
the whole
I'm in a
premises?
public place. When did you tell me that you turned your body worn on?
Would you mind
tyrant?
exiting?
No, I will not.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. It's a public place. I can do what I want. When were you going to tell me that you turned this on?
Do not
you just
come-
infringed on my rights, sir. How dare you? You're a disgrace to the uniform.
Thank you very much.
Who do you think you are?
I'm James Hodgson.
There'll be a complaint going in against you, sir.
Excellent.
Professional standards, and we'll
2673.
see exactly what happens. Why didn't you tell me you turned your body worn on?
I forgot.
You forgot. Is that good enough? When you've just assaulted me in a public place?
Well, luckily it was all recorded.
Was it? And why didn't you tell me? You covertly
Do
recorded
not-
me.
This is not very covert. Otherwise, you'll be removed again. And if
Removed
you,
again?
And then if you don't, we're going to have to look at what, you causing harassment to the people within the
I'm not spoken to anyone in there except that man over there.
Actions. I've told you how your actions
No,
are
you're
coming
a
across to
disgrace,
people.
sir. Go away, you're dismissed. Get out of my face.
Okay. You don't dismiss me.
Yes, I will dismiss you. You're a
No.
public servant. You do what
You
you're told.
are- you are
You do
causing
what
a
you're
public
told.
nuisance.
You do what you're told.
We're not public servants.
Where's the
we're crown
complaint?
servants.
Where's the complaint? Who's the complaint from?
Who's
Member of the public that's made a complaint.
Okay. I would not.
Member of the
I would-
public that's made a complaint.
While he is physically removing him, the laughing auditor notices that the body-worn camera is already recording and that he was never informed, something most forces' basic procedures require unless there is a clear justification not to. That alone indicates a disregard for standard practice. Then, when he states that he will be making a complaint, the sergeant's smug, excellent response speaks louder than any defence could. That is not confidence in one's conduct, it is arrogance. The public servant exchange only makes matters worse. Denying that he is a public servant and rebranding himself as a Crown servant does not remove accountability. It simply sounds like someone attempting to place himself above the very public he is meant to serve.
Sergeant,
Do you appreciate?
he just assaulted me and you allowed that to happen.
No, listen, you've been putting your camera up
And
in the
what?
windows when people are having private consultations.
And windows, people having private conversations. Because where?
No, it's an NHS facility.
I didn't go into the NHS part. I stayed in
did
the
go to the
reception.
NHS.
No, I didn't. It's on film, you numpty.
Right, now you've been rude.
And what?
That's rude,
it's
isn't
not
it?
a crime to be rude, is it? I've just been assaulted by this man,
one's been
and you want me to be
assaulted.
nice about it. Who do you think you
Out
are?
of the building because you're causing a breach of the peace. You're actually going to cause harm to people.
Well, arrest me for it then. Arrest me for it
We don't
then.
need to do that.
Arrest me for it. Let's see the CPS say.
The CPS won't get involved.
The CPS won't even authorise charges. You're a numpty.
Don't be rude.
I don't. It's not
Would
a
you
crime.
like to listen to how the law works?
It is not a crime to be rude, sir.
You've been
I've just been assaulted
You've
by
been
this
removed.
tyrant.
You've been removed
From a public place.
For a breach of the peace.
From a public place.
The breach of the peace
Trespassed.
ends now you're out here.
Trespassed from a public place
So what
by
are we going
a
to
police
do?
officer.
What are we-
Arrest me if it's
Will
a
you
breach of the
please
peace.
listen?
If it's a breach of the peace, arrest me.
Listen.
Arrest me.
Listen,
And I never got you to identify formally.
are you going to-
identify yourself?
I'm Sergeant Cap. Matthew Can. It's written there.
Yeah. Number. Station.
1,000 here.
What do you mean here? Is that how you address members of the public? Is that how you identify yourself to a judge? You're dismissed.
Don't go back.
Tyrant.
The second sergeant does nothing to de-escalate the situation. Instead, he doubles down and attempts to rewrite events. He alleges that the laughing auditor was filming people during private consultations. Yet TLA clearly states that he remained at reception, and the footage corroborates this. Such an allegation is not a minor detail. It is an attempt to recast the situation as intrusive when it was not. He then resorts to claiming a breach of the peace, the classic fallback when nothing else applies. Breach of the peace is not a catch-all justification for removing someone simply because staff feel uncomfortable. It requires an imminent threat of violence or serious disorder, and none of that exists here. When TLA responds, "If it's a breach of the peace, arrest me," they do not because they know the legal threshold has not been met.
Been detained.
No,
I'm free to
but
go
don't
and I'm
go
free
back
to
in there,
stay.
because
Jog on.
The breach of the peace will occur again, and you'll be arrested for breach of the peace.
Breach of the peace.
Yeah, and if you keep going in there,
What breach of the what?
I've explained to you.
Define breach of the peace.
Well, listen.
Define breach of the peace.
Would you like me to, or are you going to interrupt me?
Define breach of the peace.
I'm going to.
Go on.
Right. So breach of peace occurs when harm is about to happen.
What harm is happening?
The harm that's going to take place is
What
you're
harm?
filming people.
That's not illegal, sir.
Listen.
Don't shout at me.
Listen.
Don't talk to me like that. Who do you think you are?
I'm trying to explain to you.
You're talking to a member of the public, for goodness sake.
Doctor has told me that you were filming people having private consultations.
Well, you need to arrest him because he made a false
mental
report.
health facility.
He's made a false
If you
report.
are- if
It's
you
on
are
film.
filming people
It is on
who
film.
have
It can all be
anxiety
proved. This is the witness
and
that doesn't
mental health
lie.
conditions,
The witness
then
that
you
doesn't
will cause
lie.
breach of the peace.
This is the witness that doesn't lie. It's on film. Why would I lie if
Well,
I
that's
filmed it
fine.
all?
When you make your complaint, you can.
I won't
produce
make my
that, can't
complaint.
you? And you will. And,
I won't use your
and
own
I
for
imagine
shot.
you'll give an edit copy and all the rest of it.
No, you see everything.
But if you stay out here, we're all good.
I need to make a complaint about a council official.
Okay, well, you can do that through their website.
No, I
or
can't.
by
I could do it.
calling.
I could do it at the reception.
No, because you are
You are infringing on my human rights.
You are. This is not infringing.
Article 10 of the Human Rights Charter. You don't know the law. You don't know human rights.
This is where the situation becomes completely contradictory. He asks the most important question, "Am I detained?" And they answer no. Logically, that means he is free to stay or continue with his business, yet they still prevent him from re-entering, effectively exerting control without citing any lawful authority. This is the grey area some officers attempt to operate in, not detained on paper but not free in practice. The sergeant then leans on the doctor's claim that he was filming consultations, despite TLA clearly stating, and having footage to prove, that he remained at reception. If that allegation is false, it is especially serious, as it is the very justification being used for his removal.
Sir,
Do you not think we have better things to do?
I don't care. Well, go away. I didn't ask you to come out. Go away.
No, you didn't. But
Go away.
But-
You can't trespass someone from a public place. Are you dumb? That means you could trespass someone from a public park. It means you could trespass someone from the pavement.
No.
It's owned by the council, is it not?
because that's not building.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. What do you mean enclosed space? Trespass is trespass. Doesn't matter where it is. If you're trespassing someone, you're trespassing them from property, whether it's
From
pavement,
property.
car park, from a car park or a pavement. Doesn't matter. A park, whatever.
My colleague has had a complaint from a doctor in the NHS.
Have they? I didn't go in there. It's on film. So he's going to get done for lying. You've not investigated him to find out exactly where I was because he's made a false police report. Not bothered about that, are you? Where's your impartiality? Do you stand on your oath today, officer? Do you stand on your oath today?
I have suspicion that
Okay.
you were
Let me-
infringing on those people's right to a personal life
Personal life. What on earth are you talking about?
because they're in an NHS facility having a medical
I wasn't in there.
consultation,
I wasn't in there.
and you are sticking your camera through a window.
I
or
didn't
up
stick
to a
my
window.
camera through a window. I went to the
What
door.
are their rights to privacy? What are their
There's no
human rights?
expectation of rights, no expectation of privacy in public.
They weren't in public. They were in a private
I
consultation
didn't go
room.
there
You were
though.
filming at the
No.
window.
So if you stood on your oath and you were impartial, I'm telling you that didn't happen. I've got it on film. I've got evidence to prove that. They made a
Can I
false
see it?
police report. What?
Can I see
I'll
it?
make it available to you at a later stage.
What makes this situation particularly troubling is how comfortable they are relying on a single version of events. TLA repeatedly tells them the allegation is inaccurate, that he was never inside the NHS area, and they neither challenge it, question it, nor investigate it. Instead, they treat the doctor's statement as fact and his as irrelevant. This is not neutral policing, it is bias masquerading as authority. When he asks whether they are standing by their oath, he is addressing the core issue. Are you here to establish the truth, or simply to side with whoever complained first? The fact that he must repeatedly insist he was not even in the NHS building underscores how little attention they are actually paying.
Belligerent and all that,
Purposefully
yeah.
trying to provoke reactions. I assume
Oh yeah,
for
because I
views,
asked
for
you to
coverage.
put I asked you to put your hands on me. Victim blaming.
See how the way you're dressed and the way you're acting would make people worried and scared in this building.
I don't care. It's not my problem. It's their problem. I'm in a public place. I'm not doing anything illegal.
So you don't care about anyone else's rights. You only care about your rights.
What rights is it that I'm breaching of theirs? What rights? Tell me. What rights? What laws? Any of that? You keep mentioning all this stuff, but you can't mention anything. Any legislation that I've broken, anything like that. What have I done that is illegal, that is wrong?
Are you willing to show me?
I'll show you that. If you're going to let me back in and I'll carry on filming. And now, I want an apology. If I prove that there's been a false, I've not been in there. I've not been sticking it in when people have private consultations. That was a false police report. Why wouldn't you uphold your oath, remain impartial, and investigate that? Because that's a crime. That's someone who's made a false police report.
Yeah, but it'd be their perception. If they saw you near that door and believed you to be filming.
No. You've just put your hands on me under the pretext that I was infringing on people's privacy, as you said. You didn't make an official complaint.
Well, that's
but you're using
why
it-
I've come and
you're
asked
using it
you,
as
and then you've
grounds-
shown me, and that's great.
And you're using it as grounds to do whatever it is you want to do. You're a disgrace, man.
Well, at that time, we had suspicion that was what
Not
happened.
once have you tried to apologise. You see I didn't harass anyone. You see I didn't get in anyone's face. You see I was just minding my own business.
I've
So,
said that part of it was true.
did you apologise?
No,
No, why not?
you said you're going to follow that up with PSD,
Yeah, you're screwed.
and
mate.
then I'll wait for their findings.
You fucked big time. Big time. Now what?
Okay.
Now jog on. Ta-da. Walk of shame.
Thank you very much for your time.
Fuck off. Do one.
Thank you.
Yeah, walk of shame. Bye.
At the end, the sergeant shifts focus to TLA's appearance and behaviour, suggesting that how he looks or acts somehow infringes on other people's rights. That is a dangerous approach to policing. Rights are not violated simply because someone appears unconventional or behaves confidently. When TLA asks the obvious question, whose rights have I actually violated? There is nothing, no answer, just silence. Then comes the moment that should have reset everything. TLA shows the sergeant the footage. Facts are undeniable. The alleged filming of private consultations is not there. The narrative of intrusion is absent. At that point, the sergeant knows the suspicion was unfounded, yet there is no apology, no acknowledgement, no correction, just a refusal to engage and a forced exit. This is not a mere misunderstanding. It is pride overriding accountability. What this episode truly demonstrates is how easily suspicion can harden into perceived certainty when officers decide someone looks wrong. Once that lens is applied, every action is interpreted through it. Instead of testing the assumption, they enforced it. And when the assumption collapses under the weight of evidence, they do not repair the damage, they simply walk away. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue my independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out The Laughing Auditor. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some support. Thanks for watching.